Hey everyone, Hurricane Liz here, back for another Hot 5 Niches of the Week. I know it's been a while since I've done this, so we've got a lot of catching up to do, but I will tell you one thing that I know for certain. Halloween is almost here, so I'm expecting to see a heck of a lot of scary books. So I'm fired up for this video. I hope you're fired up. Let's go and do this. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just head on over to Amazon. We're gonna jump into hot new releases right here. Go on over to the book section, and since it has been a while since I've actually combed through this, we're gonna just jump into children's books. Now, one thing that I don't know if you guys noticed a minute ago, but right over here, the number 2 product is this set of really scary bats. These bats are crushing it. They only have 14 total reviews, but they are number 2 new hot releases, and of all categories, babies. So I don't know which one of you guys are out there putting these bats in your baby's room, but that's kind of creepy. However, it is in babies. So let's see what else is happening in the children's books, and if anything unusual like that is happening. It is Halloween. You can never tell what's going to be happening during this time of year. But so far, from just combing through this, we see a lot of the usual suspects. We see the good old investigators, and we've got dragons, as well as this Cat Kid Comic Club, which I have no idea what that is. But we've got nothing really out of the ordinary. There is this advent calendar, which pops up right here. And I've mentioned this in a previous video, but if you do have a brand or a branded character, it might not be a bad idea to create an advent calendar for this. This one's Disney. I've seen one in Harry Potter. Star Wars also has one. So you certainly want to take a look at any brand that you have. Toss it out there. It just might actually work, especially if you have a lot of traction. All right, moving forward, we got this woodland dance, which looks like just like a bunch of animals just dancing and having a great time. What would be funny is a parody on this. Why don't you put some animals dancing with some drinks in their hands, looking like they're really having a good time? That would definitely sell. We've also got this Grace Upon Grace journaling devotional. It looks like something related to God or religion. So those are always going to do well, particularly during the holidays. People are going to give those a lot as gifts. We've got the Narwhal School of Awesomeness. Good old Little Blue Truck, always popping out books. Who knows what else he's popping out? Check out his eyeballs there. Looks like he's popping out some pills too. But he's got it kind of wild. He's got a bunch of animals in the back seat of his pickup truck. But I will tell you one thing about Little Blue Truck. He crushes it, and he sells a heck of a lot of books. And Sammy the Bird. Sammy the Bird, our favorite bird, or the subject of book, Sammy the Bird. He's got competition. This orange bird looks to be a lot better drawn than Sammy the Bird. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a book from Sammy the Bird for Thanksgiving, for Halloween. Maybe Sammy's going to put on a costume. Maybe Sammy's going to hopefully do a disappearing act. That's one trick that I would pay Sammy to do. Here we've got Harry Potter, a cookbook. That good old polygamous Bluey. This time he's got wife number 1, and it looks like they're doing something called Grannies. I have no idea what that relates to, but it does look like there's a couple beer cans on the ground. Now I understand how he became a polygamist, but he also wrecked the car. So this is clearly beer. If the car's wrecked, a gnome's tossed over. There's no telling what Bluey did. I can't believe that Disney is doing this shit on kids' books, people. Like, these are beer cans, and he wrecked the freaking car, and now he's going nuts, and he's in some sort of costume with some really crazy sunglasses. I'm telling you, I can't believe the kind of crap that they're rolling out for kids. Speaking of which, here is Sammy the Bird, and he seems to have a Thanksgiving book already, which is in the top 100, which is a pretty good indication that Thanksgiving books will sell right now. But this one says turkey, and then there's a box. The only turkey I see there is Sammy, and if he doesn't watch out, somebody just might bake him in the oven. But let's keep moving it forward and see if we see anything else that looks noteworthy or something that we could be copying and then stealing like an artist, and creating our very own book. A Smart Cookie is here as usual. And here's one that I do definitely want to point out. This is Road Crew Coming Through, which is a construction site book, which are selling very hot. I've seen these in multiple videos, so if you do not have one that's related to construction sites, little boys particularly, and probably even some little girls out there are digging this construction site theme. So this is definitely something to pay attention to. While this is a book, a coloring book or an activity book would still do fantastic in KDP. So let's go and shoot over, look at the second 50, and then see if we can take a peek at something more specific like activities, crafts, and games. Here is one that I really love. It's called Walter Does His Best, and it's about a French bulldog. While we've seen a lot of other dogs that are kind of like have cult followings, we've seen dogs like Shiba Inus, pugs, and even corgis that really sell their merchandise quite well. We haven't seen too many French bulldogs, but I can tell you this much When I go outside my apartment, I see a ton of French Bulldogs, which doesn't surprise me that this book called Walter Does His Best already is a top seller. The other interesting thing is I saw this not too many days ago and it only had 1 review, whereas right now it has 33. So it'd be certainly interesting to investigate this further and try and figure out how exactly they're coming up with these reviews, because they seem to be getting quite a few on a daily basis, because it was just days ago that I saw 1 review. So that is something important to note. Other than that, I'm seeing a lot of fantasy books. I see this, The Odd Pumpkin, which looks to be a very bad parody of The Bad Seed and or The Good Cookie that we saw, or whatever in the hell it was called. Here's another advent calendar. Here's one that I really do like a lot. It's called Tiny T-Rex and the Tricks of Treating. And while it is a book that tells or seems to tell the story about a dinosaur going out trick-or-treating, it really does 2 things very well. It blends in a hot topic, which is dinosaurs, along with trick-or-treating, and it looks terrific. The cover looks great. It looks like it's a very enjoyable story. And again, hats off when you can do a combination play like this and really think about the name of the title as well as the art on it. So really great little terrific book that I see, and it's got 11 reviews so far, and it's $23.80 in books. Here's one on The Goonies, which was a very popular movie back in the day. And then we've got Little Witch Hazel, which is a Halloween book. I'm not sure if we've seen another Halloween book, but Halloween books, yes, they are selling. So if you haven't gotten your coloring books and or activity books, get them out there. Here's another one called Monsters. We've got Spy School, which we've seen before. The Not So Friendly. And that seems to be pretty much it. Diary of a Pug. There's again a dog with a cult following. And here's the first activity book on the chart, in at number 90, $36.57 in books, which means it's selling pretty well. This one's The Big Book of Halloween, and it looks to be like a bunch of activities. Really terrific cover. I like the whole thing, and I think they did a tremendous job. Only 1 review, but still $3,600 in books, which shows Halloween books are hot, kids. Make sure you've got them. If you're not already advertising them, get them done. There's a lot of other really interesting books here. I'm not going to note any of them because we're going to head on over to activities, crafts, and game and try to get a sneak peek in there before we call this a wrap. There's good old Bluey with those beer cans and that wrecked car. He's lucky he can get a DWI. That Bluey, God, he's always really pushing it. Again, Big Book of Halloween is in at number 5. And let's see what else we got. Spooktacular. Oh, Spectacular Stories, but I just gave you a fantastic title. I accidentally read it as Spooktacular Stories, but that's an excellent way to put something in a title. Like, it just kind of flew out of my mouth. Like, it was almost meant for me to do that one. But again, you guys know that I do not have an artist, so I'm definitely not going to do that. That's up there for anybody that wants to do that. We've got the first Christmas book that we've seen, which means Christmas books are going to sell like fire this year. This one's $58.61 in books, and it's already number 14. Now, I do want to make a quick note to everyone, specifically everybody that is planning to get a ton of books out there. I will say this much: the ports and the whole logistical outlook for products coming into Amazon, it's very packed this Christmas season. So what that means is that a lot of people are going to specifically buy books as gifts because shit's going to run out. I'm telling you, people, shit's going to run out this year like no other year in the past. As a result, book sales will be possibly at an all-time high. So keep that in mind. Make sure if you're not already loaded up on books, you get loaded up on them. This is the second PHONICS one that I want to point out. I would definitely do one of those. Keep in mind that PHONICS books are evergreen. They will sell year-round, specifically when people or kids are going back to school and as gifts during the holiday season. Grams, Gramps, Mom, Dad, anybody's going to buy those kids those books. All right, let's see if we see anything else. Again, Bluey's in all over the place. Like, he's got 3 books here, and you guys just aren't seeing these signs. I'm wondering who in the heck is making up these stories, right? We've got a dinosaur preschool book. I've seen a lot of dinosaur stuff, so I'm imagining that might be pretty good. Here's a My Sight Words workbook, and one thing that I am noticing is the theme of being outdoor, and that could be because we're going into the fall season. A lot more outdoor activities that seem fun. At least it's a better scenery, so any type of outdoor book would do very well right about now. And this one as well, 50 Halloween mandalas. What I love about this one is the cover. It looks awesome. It looks very well done. And despite the fact that I always tease the mandala books, this one looks like one that I would actually pick up. 12 reviews, 13,221 in books. Mandalas for specifically a holiday, in this case Halloween, are fire. You better have one of those. That is number 36. Another dinosaur book, a Creepy Kawaii. I love this one. This one is almost a Halloween theme, but not. It has 2 reviews. It is $3.99, which is quite cheap. 13,913 in books, but this is a pastel goth coloring book. You could definitely do your own spin on this and call it something a little different. However, either way, this one's going to sell like crazy come Halloween, which we're almost in the thick of. More Halloween books, which is not a surprise. Again, another mermaid, which doesn't surprise me. Mermaids are a pretty hot theme year-round. Here's another Halloween mandala book. So again, Halloween mandala books do pretty well. And let's just go through the next page and comb through it really quickly. Again, dinosaur books. So if you don't have your baby dinosaur books, make sure you get those. Dinosaurs seem to be lighting it up right now. I like this one a lot. To name these feelings, this could certainly be done with an activity book as well. And I think that's kind of ingenious. You could also do name this XYZ. It doesn't just have to be feelings, it could be anything else, but either way, it allows you a lot of different options and you're really only focusing on one object doing different things. That makes it a lot easier on the artist. Again, unicorn, mermaid, and princess. More Halloween books, more Bluey sitting in the hot tub. This time it doesn't look like he's got any beer, so people in the hot tub are all safe in case that guy gets lit up, right? Looky, looky, I Spy Halloween book. That looks pretty standard. And not really seeing a lot else other than a bunch of Halloween books, a lot of Halloween activity books. This one's very interesting. This one's got a lot of shit going on in the cover. Like, I'm almost blinded by it. I'm almost like drawn to click on it because it looks kind of spooky, but at the same time, it's got so much crap thrown on the cover that I don't even want to deal with it. It just looks like it's too much to deal with. It looks like somebody threw everything that they have out in their apartment in the closet and is trying to hide it there before their mom comes to visit. So that is just a hard thing to look at. Pencils on strike, that looks certainly very interesting. And that's a wrap. It doesn't seem like I found very much else other than the ideas that I already gave you. Hopefully you guys got an idea or two from this video. Other than that, ask your questions and comments below. I always personally answer them, and I'll see you next time.